Good morning. It is December 31st, 2020. And is anybody else jumping around being like, finally, right? Like I had a lot of amazing things happen in 2020, and my plan is to spend my day today just in gratitude for all of the good things that happened in 2020. But boy, am I glad to be moving into some new energy, whatever that looks like. We don't know what that looks like yet. But we have the opportunity to create some of it. And that's kind of what we want to talk about here today. I don't know if, one of the things that I do in my business, and maybe you do in your business, is some projections for the year ahead. And, it doesn't have to happen on December 31st or January. It doesn't have to start, your year doesn't have to start January 1st, but most people's do. I feel like there's some energy, right, in shifting into a new year. And, when I do those projections, and it's so funny because I talk to so many people all the time, and I say, like, I spoke to somebody the other day. If you're listening, I'm not picking on you. I just love what you're doing, and I want the best for you. But she has an $897 program, $897 program, and I said, well, how many of those can you do max in a year? And she said, well, 20. So I said, that's not even $20,000 a year. Like, who could live on that, right? Like, so we have to do that math, right? Like, if you have an 897 program, you have to do the math. How many can you do? How many, how does it all fit together? How do you get to your income goal? And, if you've listened to me before, you know that I am not a fan of people that are like, let's build our 6-figure business, because it sounds great. But as an entrepreneur, it's not a lot of money. And I know that I hope that's not bursting your bubble, right? By the way, you guys can comment. We're live here on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube and Periscope. So you guys can comment here. But by the time you pay, as an entrepreneur, by the time you pay your taxes, by the time you pay your all your overhead, right? Your CRM, Zoom, Canva, all the other things you pay for, right? It's not enough money. I want you to be thinking bigger. Like, I would love for everybody listening to this video to have a $250,000 revenue goal. Top line revenue goal in 2021. Good morning, Barbara. I would love to see everybody here have a $250,000 top line revenue goal in 2021. So I want you to, because that way you can hire great people to support you, because you probably have a VA too, right? You can hire great people to support you, and you can have a true 6 figures in your bank account income. Connie, it's so good to see you here. Happy New Year. So here's the deal. In order to hit that $250,000 goal, and it is achievable for every single person listening here. I promise you, okay? It is achievable. You have to be thinking bigger, right? You have to be thinking bigger. The conversation I had yesterday with the person I'm picking on, and I'm not really picking on you because I love you, but this was for a 3-month program, right? Most people, especially now, are not really looking they want fast results. People want fast results, right? I'll give you an example. We have in my She's Linked Up program, it's a 12-week program, but we've condensed all the content to the first 6 weeks, and we'll let you accelerate it if you want, because if you want to move faster, I want to help you do that. It doesn't require you to take 12 weeks to go through all the content and to get the win, right? But the first thing we do, whether I work with people privately or in my She's Linked Up Momentum or Accelerator programs, the first thing we do is identify what your big win is. Oh, look, Sadie's joining us again. Sadie tends to join us for these morning videos. I don't know who she thinks I'm talking to. But the first thing we do is identify what your big win is. And it's not an $897 anything. I want it to be at least a $10,000 something. Because if you and I can co-create a $10,000 offer, you only need to sell 25 of them, 2 a month, right? For the entire year of 2021 to hit that $250,000 goal. Good morning, Jennifer. Happy New Year to all you guys too that are wishing Happy New Year. Do you get what I'm saying? So why are we focusing on our $897 programs and not our $10,000 programs? Because it's the $10,000 programs that are going to help us get to the $250,000 goal. That's going to help us hire the people to support that we need to support us, and that will help us put that 6 figures actually in our own bank accounts. So that's kind of the topic I wanted to talk about today is, Are you thinking big enough? What is one, just one, big, hairy, audacious goal for 2021 that you have? And I don't necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be a top line revenue thing, right? It could be one, you have a $25,000 something that's been brewing in your head, and you know there's somebody out there for that $25,000 something. Maybe it's corporate, maybe it's coaching, right? There's plenty of people selling 12-month coaching programs for $25,000, right? LinkedIn is where the people are that have the money for that. Okay. So I don't want you to think about the $250,000 goal right now. I want you to think about that $10,000 goal or the $20,000 goal, the 50, like the one thing you can sell, one thing that you're going to think big. You're going to put, like when I talk to people about this in my programs, what I say is, okay, so you've got this $5,000 coaching. Well, actually, I'm thinking of one person in particular. Claire, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. She had a $10,000 program, and by the end of our call, it was a $20,000 program. Because what I said to her was, what does it look like if instead of this being it's to corporate, instead of being at 10,000, it's 20,000, what else could you do? She's like, well, then I could offer trainings to their staff. I could be doing, she started rattling off all these things. I was like, yes, that's what I want. That's what they want, right? So we tend to think too small. So whatever so Sadie finally made it on the bed. So whatever your revenue goal, whatever your, not revenue goals, whatever your big, hairy, audacious product is, one big fat thing, right? I'd almost like you to do the exercise to double if it's $5,000, imagine it $10,000. If it's $1,000, imagine it $2,000. Honestly, $1,000 isn't big enough on LinkedIn, to be honest. It's just not. If it's $50,000, what would it be? If it could be $100,000, what else could you offer? I don't want you to just overcharge people. I want you to over deliver. I want you to have enough profit in the work that you do, that your cup is overflowing. They're getting way more than they bargained for, and you are overflowing, not going, oh my gosh, I'm already out of budget for this customer, right? That's the place I want you in 2021. And it starts with you thinking big enough, right? Thinking big enough, thinking about what that big opportunity could look like for you. So that's kind of what I want. If you're spending any time today, kind of, I don't know, with any introspection, right, on what your career, your life, your business, your purpose is for 2021, then I want you to think about this conversation. I want you to think about this conversation and think about what could you do? What could you offer? And you're just dreaming right now. Like, I'm a fan of, I can't show you them right now because they're over here, but I have the big, gigantic sticky Post-it notes, like the big ones that you have to rip off the, kind of easel size ones. I have them on my wall with all kinds of these sticky notes on top of them with all the things I want to put in it. So if you have to go to Staples today, spend $5 on the big sticky notes, stick it on the wall, right on the top of it, $25,000 offer. And then with little sticky notes, start adding all of the things you can add to that offer. Okay. Again, I don't want you to overcharge people. I want you to charge enough, because I want you doing this in 2022 and not working at Macy's, right? Or to keep the roof over your head. Lee, I am so glad to hear you saying this. So Lee is saying that she needs to, you need to hear this. Thinking big enough is your stretch goal for 2021. Well, I love your stretch goal to be $250,000. So I don't know if you heard the beginning of this, but as an entrepreneur, if you are going to be running a business that is full of abundance, so that your cup is overflowing, you've hired a VA or somebody, one or two people to support you. Maybe you have a podcast. You need to pay a podcast producer or somebody to do all the editing, right? Like, people to do all the things you don't want to do, right? And pay for all the tools you have, right? Like all the CRM tools and everything else, and Zoom and whatever, and have a solid 6 figures in your bank account from 2021, then you need to be thinking about a $250,000 year in 2021. And LinkedIn is the place for you to get to that year. LinkedIn is the place for you to get to that year. So here's what I have for you. I'm going to share this. This is the first time I'm telling you guys this, so I'm going to share this. Hang on one second. First of all, you all know that I have a masterclass. You can find that on my LinkedIn profile or on everywhere, right? If you go to KarenYankovich.com/masterclass, you can watch that. But this link that I'm sharing now, which is LinkedInforWomenCommunity.com, is our Facebook group. And it is a Facebook group. We've got a couple thousand people in the Facebook group. And starting on Monday, we are going to be planning out our big, hairy, audacious goal year in a 5-day challenge. I've done 5-day LinkedIn profile challenges before, but we've always done them in a new group, a separate group. And I kind of want to do that this year. I kind of want to do it in the group we've already got. So I'm going to try that. So it's new. So all you need to do to join the challenge, you don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to do anything crazy. All you need to do is be a member of this group. LinkedInforWomenCommunity.com gets you to the Facebook group. And we're going to be doing a 5-day challenge in that group. If you're watching this later, there's always good stuff happening in that group, so join the group anyway. But if you're watching this live, it's December 31st, 2020. Starting on Monday, we're going to be doing a 5-day challenge in the Facebook group to kick off 2021. Kick it off so that you're focusing and you're set. The foundation is set for a $250,000 year. Now, the foundation really is your profile, right? So we're going to be focusing a lot on your profile in this 5-day challenge. So if it's time to do some spiffing, maybe you've joined some other challenges I've done and you've already spiffed, but you know what? You always need to do it again. Like, this is a living, breathing thing. So jump in and join us for the challenge next week. I would love to have you there, okay? And we are going to be setting up our personal brands, right? Your profile is your personal brand. So we're going to be setting up our personal brands to start to step in to the business owner, to the entrepreneur that is bringing in top line minimum $250,000 in 2021. So you in? You want to join me? Come join me there. I can't wait to start. We're so excited to be doing this. We've doing a lot of the stuff we've done in the challenges before, but adding a ton of new stuff, shifting it around a little bit. I think you're really going to love it. I can't wait for you to see it. So for those of you wishing me a happy new year, I want to wish that right back to you guys. Barbara, happy new year to you. Connie, happy new year to you. Jennifer, happy new year to you. It is so good to, I'm really looking for, can you tell I'm excited about moving into 2021. I'm excited about doing it. I am here to hold your hand through it, right? That's why I do these videos. That's why we have this Facebook group. So come hang out with me next week and let's see what we can do. And by the way, share this with all of your entrepreneur friends. Share this in all of the entrepreneur Facebook groups you're in. LinkedInforWomenCommunity.com gets you to this free LinkedIn profile challenge next week. All right. So I would love if you did that, sharing that everywhere. I don't even know. Hold on. I'm going to just check one thing. Let me just check one thing. Yeah. So if you go to LinkedInProfileChallenge.com in 5 minutes, you can get there too. So just send people to LinkedInProfileChallenge.com. I have to redirect it right now. I wanted to make sure I did actually own it. If you go to LinkedInProfileChallenge.com right now, you're going to get to something old. Go to LinkedInProfileChallenge.com. It'll get you to the new page in 2 minutes as soon as I'm done here. Okay, so share that with all your friends, and I will see you guys there next week. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Next week, we'll probably be doing this next week also. Why not, right? I might as well be doing these live here in the morning. It'll get me up and ready to jump into the challenge every day. So I will see you here next week. If you guys need anything, I am around. The Facebook group is the best place to reach me if you have any questions. And everybody have a safe and happy New Year's Eve tonight. I'll see you in 2021.